Most marketers are lying to you about retargeting. Look, if you're still running Facebook ads the old way, you're bleeding money. Most marketers think that Meta's Andromeda update screwed everything up, but they're dead wrong. And in this video, I'm sitting down with one of the sharpest ad minds that I know, Laurel, and she's breaking down how she simplified her entire ad strategy from 7 campaigns down to just 3. We're talking about building an invisible list that's 10 to 20 times bigger than your email list, how she generated over 100 sales from a $10 boosted post, and why your YouTube strategy is about to become your secret weapon in 2026. If you want lower ad costs, higher conversions, and a system that actually works with the algorithm instead of fighting it, this is the conversation you can't afford to miss. Let's dive right in. Fill me in. What are you seeing now with ads? What's working well for you with your content system? And we'll start there.
Yeah. One of the most exciting things that has happened, obviously, Andromeda, even though everyone is like treating it like some monster or boogie monster, that's like in the closet or whatever, that's here to mess up your ad account. What I'm actually seeing is that everything that I've been teaching over the last 7 years is working even better. And what's really cool about it is we've been able to go from having 6 or 7 campaigns down to 3. And so that has made things like super easier for my students because it's just cutting a lot of the fat, because Andromeda is just like kind of picking up the extra slack on being able to match people so well now. And so that's probably the most exciting thing, is that ads have just gotten so much easier for so many of my students. And so it's just made it easier for people to go from not ever running ads to actually running ads.
What are the 3 campaigns? Is it like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel style, or like what? How do you structure those campaigns now with the latest update?
Yeah. So if you remember, like there's an ecosystem that's around that offer campaign, right? So let's just use your power offer as an example, like the power offer funnel that goes straight to book a call. That's kind of like the thing that builds the physical list, right? My ecosystem is actually these campaigns of ads that kind of go around it, that build an invisible list of people who are actually engaging with the content. And so you still have that main offer campaign. And this doesn't matter whether you're running a webinar, whether you're running a low ticket offer, whether you're running a straight up power funnel. The power offer funnel is the campaign that's changed, right? Because if you remember, we used to have top of funnel campaigns, retargeting campaigns, bottom of funnel campaigns. All of that can go into one campaign. So instead of
Mm,
having, my retargeting go to like let's just say like the hot 7, right? If you put your retargeting sequence, you can actually put it all into that same campaign. But then my power content campaign, which is video views, and then the conveyor belt campaign, which is the boosted post, think about those as the 2 pieces of bread, and then your main offer campaign is kind of the meat that's between it. And what the power content and the conveyor belt actually do is send extra signals to Andromeda that make that offer campaign work even better, right? Because think about it this way: if someone goes to your Facebook page and watches a 10-minute video, what do you think that signal is telling Andromeda? They're
yeah.
probably interested in Joel's offer, and vice versa. It also works the same on YouTube. If I go watch an hour-long video of you and I log into Facebook, what do you think one of the first thing that's going to pop up? And this isn't even just exclusive to ads. This is like organically too. The other day I was on YouTube and I saw this one guy. I don't even remember what his name is, but it was about closing more sales calls using this DM funnel. And I was like, oh, that's very similar to what I teach. And I was like, ooh, this is kind of different. And then I poked around to a couple of his videos. As soon as I logged into Facebook, guess what? The first post that Facebook shows me: this
Hmm.
guy's organic post. And so the latency that Andromeda is bringing is incredible. Like my wife can't even buy anything without me knowing exactly what she's been looking at or buying, because Facebook is serving it up because of our IP address.
Wow.
The latency is just crazy with Facebook. Like people think that like Amazon and Facebook and YouTube, people think that those things aren't connected, but because of our device, everything is connected. And Facebook
Hmm.
knows what we're looking at, what we're watching, what we're buying.
So you've got your 3 campaigns. The top, that first campaign is a power offer style, right? Like direct offer, like get those signals early. Who's interested? Is that correct?
So I'm doing two things. I'm using your demand triggers for two different campaigns. One, for the physical, we call it like the physical list, right? Because we're sending people, we're capturing their name and email. So basically, I'm sending a campaign, their conversion campaign, right? Because at any given point, I've learned this from you, there's 2 to 3% of people who are ready to buy right now. So let's run a campaign to them. But then the 97 to 98%, I'm using those exact same demand triggers that you teach in the Power Offer workshop, and I'm using it to create videos that help people solve very specific problems utilizing every single one of those demand triggers. And we could have 30 or 40. So we've got people who are creating videos, video view signals being sent to Facebook, but then we also have the click and conversion signals being sent back to Facebook. So those are the two top of funnel strategy campaigns, I guess I should say, that we run. And then everything that I'm doing is I'm creating audiences of people who are watching those video views and the people who are coming in through the click ads and boosting every single piece of organic content that I'm doing to those two audiences. And that's all I'm doing. Like that alone has just, I did a post the other day on my Facebook page. I'll show you how powerful this is. I did a post a couple of weeks ago, right before Christmas, and I was talking about my $7 program and how much I had added into it. Not really, like it was kind of like a stealth call to action. I didn't really say go click here or anything. I was just like, this is what's coming to my $7 program. I boosted it for $10, Joel. Over 100 people, I had over 300 comments on the post. Over 100 of those people bought my $7 program because of
Dang,
that
dude.
post. So that's less than 10 cents a purchase.
So you are that was on your Facebook just for clarity. That's not on your profile. That's on your Facebook page, your business page. Is
No,
that
on
correct?
my profile.
Oh, that's on your profile.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's not even really connected to like the ads ecosystem. That's
It is
that's
though, because Facebook now, if you have a professional profile, you could boost things on your profile. It's connected to your ad account, so I can literally run boosted posts on my profile to people who've been engaging and watching my video ads.
interesting. I didn't even know that. I mean, I have a creator account and I saw them talking about that, but I still assumed it was somewhat separate, but you're saying it's not, right?
It's all part, like I made it part of my ecosystem only because like I used to just boost things on my personal page. I don't like having, like, a huge part of my strategy is having messenger conversations, because to me that's just that's my whole principle behind my strategy, why it works so well. And I don't like to have conversations on my business page because of spam. Like my business page is just ridiculous. I like
Hmm.
having conversations on my personal profile. Now, the caveat to that is I would not boost anything to cold traffic on my personal profile, because here's the thing, you can't retarget engagement from your profile. You can only retarget engagement from your business page. And so that's why I have my click ads and my power content running in my ad account, because we can retarget that traffic you cannot on your profile. But I'm boosting using my profile because at that point I already have all the retargeting traffic. I don't need to retarget it again. And so that's why I like using my profile, because one, I like having conversations there, and two, my follower account on my profile is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's where most people go to talk to me anyway, so it looks a little bit more impressive. And same with Instagram, like I like having DM conversations on Instagram and Facebook, so that's where most of my ads get pointed to. So I boost things on Instagram and I boost things on my profile.
So if I remember correctly, your main like audience building strategy is done through video. Is that correct? Because
Correct.
okay, so you're building your audience through you've got your power offer campaign, right, for the low hanging fruit, but you rely very heavily on videos to build that warm trust and build that trust with a cold audience because you can retarget those people through a percentage of what you know that they've watched, right?
Yeah, and so, and I'll give you a little story that I think will resonate with your audience. So when I started working in the online business space in 2018, I was still working my full-time job in television, right? And I had been marketing since 2002. And someone at a Damon John conference or whatever, my wife and I were had a little t-shirt business side hustle, said that, why aren't you selling your ad services? You can make so much money. And I was like, whatever, that doesn't sound legit at all. And so I decided to go, live on Facebook and start, teaching Facebook ads. And I was still working my full-time job. And I didn't have any issues with marketing, but I was like, I'm going to go and see about these Facebook ad agencies. So I just started looking on YouTube, Facebook ad agencies, and I came across Mr. Dan Henry. And so I followed him on Facebook and I would see his videos every single day because he used to like post a ton in 2018. Like he was doing all these really long form, probably like 10-minute videos on Facebook. I never opted into any of his webinars. I never bought anything because I had been marketing myself since 2002. I didn't need to buy anything. I could pretty much watch all of his content and piece together what he was teaching about starting a marketing agency, right? Because I had that marketing experience already. And in 2021, Dan went live and he was like, "Hey guys, you see this $2 million yacht? I just bought it. Do you want to come and hang out in the Bahamas? It's 10 grand." I immediately DM'd Dan and I was like, "Hey, I'm in. What do I need to do?" And he's like, "Just wire the money here." No phone call. Dan and I had never talked before. I was not on his email list. I was pretty much invisible to Dan. But for 3 years, I sat there and I watched and watched and watched. Now, if Dan were to try to do that with like cold traffic, be like, "Wire me 10 grand," what do you think would happen, right? No pipeline equity, no goodwill. But because over 3 years, even though Dan didn't know who I was, I knew who Dan was. And so when he was like, "Wire me 10 grand," I didn't think anything about it. I wired him 10 grand. Why? Right?
Yeah, because you had
Because
the
I had
trust.
been
Yeah.
watching his content for years and years and years. And that is what happens with me. Like people who spend the most money with me, they show up in my DMs out of the blue being like, "Hey, could I get the link to join LOL, which is 3 grand a month?" And no call. It's literally like, "Where's the link to join?" And then through the onboarding process, I find out that these people have been watching me for years and just have never reached out or said anything. Didn't even join the $7 program, just been watching, you know?
hmm You know, one of the, there's it's so true, right? The lurkers are the ones who've got the money, right? Usually those are seasoned marketers, usually those are seasoned entrepreneurs, and it's not that they're against or averse to opting in and giving an email address, but it's just, the timing's got to be right, and they're lurkers, they don't engage, they don't, they're not the ones necessarily in the comments, boosting your post that way, but they're there. I mean, it's happened to me tons of times as well. I'm curious though, like when it comes to ad strategy. So what we do, what I like to do is, I run so many, just videos are harder for me to create. Just takes a lot of time. I got to sit down, map out the content, et cetera, et cetera. So I usually do like branded, um, like for my warm traffic and like building the audiences. I like to do static image ads where my content and there's stuff that's on the static image ad. It's like belief shifting content, right? So it's not a call to
Mhm.
action, but it's more so teaching and also giving them an aha moment. And I've created ways that I can like populate these on like massive scale. And so that becomes kind of my it's not a cold traffic strategy because what I do is I rely on my cold traffic power offer ads to build my audience, because what I've found is that even though they might not be ready to buy right now, they're still in the market. And so they will still respond to offers. They might not buy, they might not opt in, they might not book a call, but they will still show indicators of like, "Hey, I'm interested," because whatever, like they're just in the market, right? Like if I'm selling my agency services, if I'm selling, consulting with a core promise, they might not be ready to buy right now, but they will probably be likely ready to buy later, so they'll still show some sort of interest. So I use that to build my warm audience, not necessarily video views, and then I just spam them, not really spam them, but I flood them with all sorts of belief shifting content once they're in my middle of funnel. And I do that through long posts and image ads. Have you ever done that strategy instead of just
Yeah, that's literally my conveyor belt strategy. So
oh,
basically, I call
well,
it the conveyor.
just for clarification, doing that without video views, meaning like I'm doing that
Correct.
without video view. Okay, cool.
Correct. So do you mind if I like share my
Yeah,
my
yeah.
iPad real quick?
I'll probably have to give you permission.
I think it'll make sense.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Okay, cool. And I think this will work so well for you, Joel, too, because we're doing something very, very similar. So we've got cold traffic, right? And what you're doing is, let's just say this is your power offer ad, and it doesn't matter what we're selling, right? Book a call, it doesn't matter. Webinar funnel, whatever. We're sending cold traffic here, right? So what I do is I build an ecosystem around this, right? Because if you're sending cold traffic here, there's a black hole here, there's a black hole here, right? That people are just like losing an insane amount of traffic here. So what I do, right, because this targets the 2 to 3% of people who are ready to buy, right? But you've got 97 to 98% of people who are not. And because I just told the Dan Henry story, you guys understand that building an invisible list of people who are watching your content is super important, right? So what I was doing was I was watching these videos that Dan was putting out. So these are the two campaigns. We've got a video view campaign here, and then we've got our conversion campaign on this side, right? Both are getting leads in two different ways, right? We've got the leads through the clicks or the opt-ins here. And then we've got I like to do 25% of a 3 to 5 minute video here with me. And
Yeah.
so basically this is building a warm stack, right? So basically if people engage with this through a click on this side, I will give them one more chance to become a higher qualified lead than just a click. And so I'll send them to the power content. If they become an opt-in, I will send them into the warm stack. So I'm protecting what I would call the conveyor belt. So this is where what you were doing comes into play in my strategy is we are putting a whole bunch of content. Now this could be video content, this could be written content, or I'm going to do podcast, right? Podcast audibly, because people will watch content, they'll read content, and they'll listen to content. So if you go to my Facebook profile right now, you will see very similar posts to what you're doing. I call them power posts. They're just very long form. They're belief shifters too. I just use the 4A lenses. I use actionable content, but I also do aspirational, analytical, and anthropological. And right now, because we're in winter, if you follow any of the spiritual journeys or whatever, we're doing the journey around the sun. More people right now are contemplating about the last year and their behavior, that did they get exactly what they want? And so all of these long form pieces of content are very anthropological style. So if you go to my profile, you could actually see that I'm talking about why people aren't getting results because of the way that they're behaving. And then in the spring, I'm going to move to more aspirational, long form case study type content. And then moving into summer, where the days are longer, it's more actionable, right? But what I'm doing is I'm creating long form videos, long form written posts, and then I'm putting my podcast episodes here on the conveyor belt. And then all of these posts are going on my personal profile or my Instagram page, and they're going to have one of 3 CTAs. They can have no CTA where it's just value. Like one of my most successful posts right now doesn't even have a CTA. It's me and my wife on a plane just talking about how we're off to our next event. People always ask me, this ad goes nowhere. Why are you spending money to this? But my audience wants the freedom that me and my wife have. And so that one has no CTA. It's just an image ad with a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we could have a 2-step, right? So some of my long form posts will have a 2-step. I'll give away, a freebie. Some of my videos will have a freebie. I'll give away a freebie. You'll see that on my profile too. I'll be like, hey, you want the cheat sheet to go with this? That's a 2-step. I get them into a conversation. Boom, they're buying, right? But then I can have a direct offer. I like to end a lot of my long form posts with your power offer framework. And so there's 3 different CTAs. No CTA, it's all value. A 2-step, which is an indirect offer, or a direct offer into 3 different types of content. Does that make sense? So basically all of this is going on my profile, and I call it the conveyor belt because here's why.
Well, you
It's
said
kind of a
profile.
principle.
Do you mean your actual personal profile?
Yes, my
Okay,
personal
so
profile. And I'll actually show you what that looks like too.
yep.
So the reason that I just kind of want to show you the reason why I call it a conveyor belt is because most people they teach the funnel like this, right? Like if you pour water into this because of gravity, right? It goes to the bottom, right? And people teach the sales funnel this way. I don't believe that a sales funnel looks like that. I think it looks like this. And so if you're going to put people in this way, what's going to happen? They're going to fall out because people get scared, they get overwhelmed. And so we have to create our own gravity. And you could see there's a slight tilt. How do we get people from bottom of funnel to top of funnel in this scenario? We use something like a conveyor belt. And so that's why I call this the conveyor belt, because we're creating our gravitational pull between
Mm-hmm.
not ready to buy and ready to buy. Does that make sense? And
Yep.
so this is my
Yep.
ecosystem. This is it. Like there are 3 campaigns, right? We've got our video view campaign. We've got our conversion campaign, whether that's a lead generation campaign or a sales campaign, and then we've got an engagement campaign. That's it. 3 campaigns. And this is the one obviously that costs the most money. These are the $5 ads and these are the $5 ads.
That
Make
makes
sense?
sense. Yeah. So you don't really have a bottom of funnel. You just have a top and middle, right?
Well,
And
I'm
eventually,
using the bottom of funnel here, right?
got it.
Because
Yeah.
remember, Andromeda says we don't have to separate top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel ads. So this campaign right here used to be made up of 3 separate conversion campaigns. Now they're all in one.
Got it. So all of your conversion style campaigns are just in one bucket, and then you've got another campaign that's all of your middle of funnel retargeting, etc. Right?
Correct. And so if I go to my Facebook profile here, I'll show you exactly
So
what.
what you describe, I call an offer sandwich. Okay. So the way that I like to structure my campaigns, and actually I probably pulled this terminology from you. You say conveyor belt. I'm sure that I heard that from you as well. Because when I teach this stuff, I also call it I call it the conversion conveyor belt campaign. And I thought I was all super smart because I'm like, oh, that makes total sense. And I created that myself. Well, now that you said it, I probably got that from you. So I will give you credit for the conveyor belt.
Well, no,
So
you and I are aligned so much because remember, my very first story was Joel. I used to call my power pitch the power offer, and then I saw your so much of what you and I do just works so well together.
yeah.
So it's probably just because we're in such synergy.
So I call it the offer sandwich because I lead with the offer, then give him some meat to warm him up, and then I also close with the offer. And so like that's kind of, my bottom of funnel serves as the top of funnel as well. And from the principle of even though people aren't ready to buy now, there's still a market of them because they're interested. Like the big misconception that people have with advertising when they follow gurus is they think that they're top of funnel, or they think in order to widen the market, they have to go after people who are unaware and spend time to educate the people on who are unaware and bring those people into the market. And that's not true. There is every market has a large segment of people who are aware, like they do want to buy your stuff or they will consider it. It's just the timing is off. So we don't want to educate the people who are unaware through content and like bringing them through the funnel. Let everybody else do that because that's expensive and it takes a long time because they're just not ready. Like they don't have a problem. They like there's so many reasons why that's such a bad strategy with paid ads. Your market and your entire ecosystem, you have to understand that they are a target buyer and they are interested in your offer. Like they are problem aware. They might even be solution aware, but just the timing is off. So that's why the offer sandwich makes so much sense. Lead with your offer, then continue to nurture them and provide education to them once they've raised their hand and said, "Yep, I'm definitely a target buyer," and then just continue that way. So
But just think if you had the video strategy, because think about this, right? With the power content, this is what's super important. I'm using your demand triggers the same that you're teaching in the power offer workshop. So think about this. If most people have 3 pillars to their offer, right? Like for me, in order for someone to be successful in my program, the first goal is getting them to 2 to 3x with a book a call funnel. Oh, sorry, my every time I do something like that, it goes. So the first thing is like I have to get them optimized 2 to 3x with a book a call funnel, right? The second thing is let's build an ecosystem around that book a call funnel to push 8 to 10x. Then third, let's make sure that all of your follow through and back end offers are good so that we can get 30 to 40x, right? So those are the 3 pillars. But underneath each of those pillars, there's 3 to 5 steps that it takes in order to get to that goal, right?
mhm.
So I'll use your you did a podcast episode one time of someone who had an operations offer,
Yeah.
and you broke out one of the demand triggers as we'll create your SOPs in 24 hours or less. That was a part of one of their goals of their overall thing. All of my power content pieces, Joel, actually solve those problems by giving away the farm. So it's important that when people do these video strategies that they're keeping in mind that these are things that only their ICA would respond to and repel anyone who would never become a client. And so now, instead of just having the triggers from your main offer, you're also creating triggers through these video view campaigns that are specifically designed only for those ideal clients. And so now you're building an invisible list, not just a physical list. So that would like add one extra layer to your strategy that would just like skyrocket. Because remember, your invisible list is often 10, 20 times bigger than a physical list
Mm-hmm.
and a higher quality than just a click. So
Yep.
I refilter all of my clicks. Like if people go to my $7 program, they don't automatically get retargeted in my thing. I give them one more chance to become a higher quality lead than just a click, and then they get my conveyor belt content.
That makes sense. So show us what you're doing with the profile stuff. You wanted to
But yeah,
demo
yeah.
that.
So my profile here is a professional profile. So if you click here, you can actually see that I can actually boost posts, right? And so you can actually see some of the posts that I'm boosting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it'll say boost again. Um, but these are all like very, very long form. Like if you go here, like you can see that I think this is what you were referring to. Like check this out. These are super, super long
Yep.
posts. And so this one's like a very like anthropological style post. But like if I go here, you'll see that I do a lot of them. I'll show you that one that I was talking about earlier, um, where I was able to get, and actually there's a picture of me and Hernan. Do you know Hernan?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So him and I were together. We do a lot of stuff together. I did a post, a picture with him, and this one right here. So I boosted this. This one got over 50 sales
Wow.
for the $7 program. You can see I boosted it. It had over 90 comments. It got over 50 sales. But the one that made
How do you know that that attributed to sales?
because they commented on the post for a link to the $7 program. So this one right here, my Black Friday offer just freaking blew up. Like this is another long form post. So I do a lot of them. I just sometimes I put a picture, sometimes I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this, let's see, this one is coming up. Look at this right here. Over 2,000 comments for my Black Friday offer. I made I
Whoa.
made so much money off of a free offer, but it's because of this conveyor belt. Um, it's coming. Oh yeah, I did a post about the post that made me money, the $7 program. So it's coming up because I did the post.
So do you automate the DM comments? Like, can you
I
do that
do
from your?
not.
Okay.
I do not. It is
Because I don't think you can do that from a. Not that this is just getting technical and nuanced. I don't think you can automate um
on your profile. You
on your
can't. You
on your
can on
profile. Yep.
Yeah, you can on Instagram and on your page. Okay, so this was a long form post like what you're talking about, right? Like your belief shifting right here, right? So on November 2nd, everyone has their own secret Andromeda setup. I want to change the way that you get the info, blah, blah, blah. Long form post, right? Very, very long. So look, 362 comments. I boosted this for $10, Joel. Over 100 sales because people are asking for the link to because I'm purposefully not putting the link here so people ask
Mm-hmm.
for it.
Nice.
Over 10 say I mean over 100 sales, less than 10 cents a sale.
And
And
this is
so
to your $7 a month offer, right?
yeah. So,
Yep.
well, I boosted it to the people who had been watching my content. So I boost a lot of this content. Sometimes I don't need to boost it like the Black Friday offer. That was not boosted. I got 2,000 comments just organically from that. Just because I do my strategy so much, like people just want my stuff. Look at this. They don't even know what they're asking for and over to like it was crazy. And and people always ask me, did you manually deliver the Black Friday offer? I sure as hell did. Manually. As a matter of fact, I'm still in the middle of delivering it and there's a back end strategy to why I'm doing that because it's leading to Nick Brandon and I's platform, the Success Finder, and we sell health insurance to entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting them into the app where we're going to sell them into our association.
Nice.
And we've
That's
already made like
awesome.
over 6 figures from that, just from this like free post. Like it's crazy. Like, and that was one that I didn't even have to. But as you can see, though, I am very strategic in every single thing that I do. I just don't post on Facebook just to post. One of the questions that did come up because I'm pretty sure there's some people in your audience that are doing the viral strategy. Like a lot of my friends are doing this viral strategy. and it's messing up their retargeting because they're like getting so much attention on their viral content. And
What's the
so
viral strategy?
yeah, so a lot of them are posting these things that will go viral. There's a whole bunch of GPTs that people are building that are these viral posts that just get a whole bunch of like eyeballs, right? Onik is doing it. And so Onik at the event, at one of the events that I was speaking at, he raised his hand when I was doing my strategy. He's like, Laurel, I'm doing your conveyor belt strategy. He's like, but I'm getting a lot of trolls. I'm like, it's because you're doing a viral strategy instead of boosting to
Power,
all of your engagement,
yeah.
run them
Instead of
through your
power
power
offer.
content. Yeah,
Yeah.
run them through your power content, make them watch 95%, then those people go on your conveyor belt. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. I was like, yeah. I was like, so it's not that going viral is bad. I hate when I go viral because it messes up my retargeting, like, and I need to go and fix things. And so I always tell people if you are doing a strategy like that or one of your videos actually accidentally goes viral, run it through a 3 to 5 minute video filter so that when you're boosting or retargeting, it is only your people who are actually going to buy from you.
Yeah. I mean, I think a simple strategy that works incredibly well is, leading with a power offer with cold traffic and just, whether it's through the conversion conveyor belt, but having an alternative call to action, which is like DM me, you know, and only retargeting people who have been like on your sales page, like who have showed clear intent on your offer. Because everything that you said is incredibly true. Like virality brings out the worst types of people. I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but in terms of your business, right? I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the worst quality of leads. Because if you want to go to gabillions of people, well, guess what? You have way more people who are unqualified than you do who are qualified. So it's all about just filtering properly.
And
Um,
it depends on the industry too. Like if you're an e-commerce product, go viral all day and night. Like that's great for your product, right? Or if you're in the a broader space like the make money online or if you're an affiliate marketer, yes, go viral because that's actually going to help. But if you're in the service-based business or you're a consultant and you have this high ticket offer, it's the worst thing that you can do because you're basically just clogging your lead flow with a bunch of tire kickers.
Yeah, and people put way too much value on fame. It's like, oh, follower count, right? And it's like, how many people I've met with hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers who aren't making any money at all, literally. It's crazy. It's crazy because they're chasing fame over value. They're chasing fame over fortune, and that's it's just not the way that most business owners run. Unless you just want to be an influencer, then great. There's plenty of people you can go buy followers from, and then we can all see that you're a fake because you look at the comments and you can tell they're all bots and they're all from third world countries, et
Hmm.
cetera, et cetera. But still a very real thing. Very real thing.
Oh yeah. Like I don't have like a huge following. Like I mean my Instagram and my YouTube is under 10,000 and because I do the conveyor belt I my Facebook is like 21,000 but those are like super engaged people. Like I get all these people saying that oh your YouTube number should be better, your Instagram, but people don't
Those are
understand that for
bots.
me
Those
they're
are also
for
bots, by the way. So
yeah.
it's a very common like, oh, I had somebody comment on my Facebook profile the other day. It's like, oh, this is such a valuable post. Like I put out a post that got like no engagement. It was a value post, but it just didn't hit. And then one guy commented and he was like, oh, this such a valuable post with such little engagement. Like I see that comment way too often across multiple platforms that I cannot. It's got to be a bot. It's
They're
got to
using
be.
Yeah, there's a thing where you can get chat GPT, but what I'm talking about is like the people that are in your DMs, like with videos, because they want
Oh,
to help you with your, with your YouTube account or whatever. What a lot of those people don't understand is like people like me and people like you use our social media for a middle of funnel play, not a top of funnel play most of the time. And so it's just so funny because like people are like, you could be making so much money. I'm like, dude, I've got less than 10,000 subscribers and I make seven figures a year. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how much better like it can get, it's just crazy how people just put so much into your follower count when it's like, no, it's how many of those people are actually part of a community, right? And that's what I try to build is community. And that's
Hmm.
why I feel like having those conversations with people is so important because like when I was hand delivering that Black Friday thing, I talked to people that I didn't even know existed and they've been following me a really long time and they wrote these very nice thoughtful things about me and they were just like I just can't believe, you're a lot of them were starstruck, which is always funny for me to hear they were like, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. Like, this is so cool. And they were like, by the way, I've been wanting to, join LOL. Like, is it, for me? And so, like, I had a whole bunch of sales conversations that just organically showed up just because I decided to show up
Hmm.
and talk to new people, you know? And
Yep.
I just think that that's just the blood for me personally, that's the lifeblood of my entire business. And so when people ask me, why do I still do DM conversations? I'm like, why would I give it to anyone else, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. What do you see in terms of your video view strategy? What types of content do you see work the best when it comes to going cold traffic and building that cold audience for percent video watchers? What types of content?
Problem solving. And so basically like I teach a version of your demand triggers, like the thing where you're like, here's a health magazine and here's all the little demand triggers used to sell that, sell this one program. I make students do something, it's actually the bane of their existence. I call it the content Bible, and it's basically this worksheet that goes an extra layer of your demand triggers to where they have to fill out, okay, so here are the three goals of my entire program. So for me, it would be, to have an optimized book a call funnel at 2 to 3x, then an ecosystem that gets them 8 to 10x, then a backend that gets them 30 to 40x. Then I have them break each of those goals down into 3 to 5 steps. Those become the content pieces, but they also become the power offers, right?
Hmm.
And so each of those content pieces, the power offer gets them on a call to help them solve it. The power content actually solves it in that video. So
Hmm.
people are just straight up I'm giving away the farm in these videos. And to me, over the shoulder, here's what we're doing, here's how it works way better than, hello, I'm Laurel, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Like me just getting in the trenches and proving that I'm in the trenches actually doing this works way better than the nicely edited talking head videos.
Hmm. Interesting. You're doing YouTube as well, right?
100%. I've actually shifted 60/40, 60% YouTube budget, 40% meta budget.
So what's your YouTube strategy? How does this all
Exact
play in?
same thing.
So you still
Top
top
in feed video ads, retarget every single video that I do that are subscribers or watching certain videos. What's really cool about of YouTube is I can actually segment my audiences based upon the long form videos that they're watching. And so I can actually, so if I've got a video about VSL, I am boosting all of my YouTube videos to the main VSL that have other things to do with VSLs. And so I'm doing some major segmentation when it comes to YouTube. But I am seeing the value of YouTube, and this is my it's not my personal prediction, it's kind of a no duh thing. As more people are putting content with AI and stuff, I think more videos of people doing things like what you and I are doing, this type of content is going to rise above all of the AI content. And I think YouTube and all of the
100%.
platforms are going to favor it. And so that's why I'm trying to get my students really like used to doing a ton of videos, because the better that they can get at it, the more they're going to get ahead of their competition, just because of the whole AI video stuff, because everyone's going crazy with AI clones.
So with YouTube, your cold traffic top of funnel is um so you lead with an offer, is that correct? So you lead with an
In
offer or
feed, it's in feed video ads that are power content. Same strategy. I'm using the same videos that I'm doing on Facebook on YouTube.
okay, so you're not leading with an offer then to build your retargeting audience. You're just trying to build a video view audience and retarget them. You can do the same thing on
Hmm.
YouTube, I would assume.
Correct.
So then you're leading with just straight education, speaking to your target market for top of funnel on YouTube.
Yep. And then I'm retargeting all of the interviews. Like Vince Reed did a really great interview with me. Julie Chanel did a really nice interview with me. You did an interview with me a couple of years ago. So I have like all of my LOL applications on those videos. Like I have the video that you did where you were like you credited me with cracking your low ticket. I have that ad running. But all of those lead to an application for LOL. And that's where a majority of my higher ticket comes from, is from the YouTube ads of people who are engaging with those specific videos.
Interesting. Very interesting. What do you see in terms of costs with YouTube? YouTube has always been so dang confusing for me. Like that the platform is so different. Not necessarily YouTube. I will say Google Ads specifically because YouTube is on Google Ads. But the Google Ads interface I hate. Only because I've been trained so much on Facebook. Like they are two totally different
But
platforms.
you can do so much more on YouTube.
I know. It's like it's one of those things where it's just like it frustrates me to no avail that I haven't been able to just self crack it on my own. Not like just the
Well, it
interface.
depends. It depends too. So the way that you run ads is very different than the way that I run ads. If I were to run ads to my I would never run ads to my $7 program using YouTube. That would not work because YouTube ad costs are much higher. You have to remember my principle, like my principle behind my entire ad strategy, get the videos, get the conversation.
Mm,
A lot of people who run, you're more kind of like direct response type marketing. Yes, YouTube can be super hard to crack the code on because you're doing conversion campaigns. All of my campaigns on YouTube are $1, $2, and they're all video views. They're not click to buy campaigns. Some of my retargeting is, don't get me wrong, but my top of funnel strategy is clearly get them to my YouTube channel, get them binge watching my long form content, then give them an offer.
interesting. So, what does it cost for video view campaigns on Google and
You
YouTube?
can go, you can go, you can go as little as $1 a day.
And it
I
will get
mean,
decent
I even
distribution.
have, yeah, I even have like one of my friends, he was trying to start one of those faceless YouTube channels where he creates all these megahertzes and all of this stuff for sleep. And he was running them for like 25 cents. I was like, I didn't even think that you could go that low for like, for running video views or whatever. But I run them $1. And I run them in feed, top of funnel in feed, so that people can actually comment on my videos because I do give away something free with my video content. And if it's an in-stream ad, they can't comment on it. So I run all of my top of funnel in stream, in feed, and then all of my retargeted in stream.
See, I don't even know what that
So
means.
that they can skip it if they want.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I don't even know what that stuff means. Like that's how
So in feed, it shows up like it's in the YouTube platform, like next video, like it's very organic looking. The in stream is the ones that you can skip when you're watching another video. So
got it.
those are middle of funnel in my ecosystem. And then in feed that show up natively inside the platform, that's what they would call an in feed. And those are the ones that I'm running to cold traffic.
Got it. So the in feed is cold, in stream is warm.
Yeah, so like if someone's watching a video about Alex Harmozy's ad strategy from his book launch, I can literally retarget the people who are watching that specific video to where they're watching that. I can make my video show up on the side as my next to watch.
Mm, interesting. Yeah, one of these days I will crack the YouTube ad strategy. Facebook has just worked so well for me that I just
It's
am not.
easy.
It's easy, and it's easy. Once you understand it, it is very very easy. Just all the options inside of Google Ads, and then like setting up. I think the main problem that I ran into with Google Ads was like Google Tag Manager, and you need like four different products of Google just to make your ads work. You need, their conversion tags, and like this is years ago. Like last time I really dove deep into. Is it simpler now, or do you still have to have install like four Google products to
There
make?
are probably easier ways, but I remember when I first installed it many years ago, you had to have the Google site tag, then the
Hmm.
Google tag manager, and then you had to have the Google event snippets. So there were like three different parts that you had to have. I set that up a really long time ago, and so I haven't had to touch it. So I'm not even aware but I know my stuff still fires because I see it come in through Google Analytics and I could see where people are clicking, where people are clicking through. But you know me, like I don't really look at attribution because I just know like that everything's working because money in, money out, right?
Yep.
I don't really look at, and yet, like, as a matter of fact, I haven't looked at my ads manager in probably a month and a half. And my wife is like, yeah, we're up to like 18 sales a day. I'm like, cool. We are only spending X amount. I'm like, that's good. As long as we're not losing money, I don't care.
Yeah. That's awesome. Are you seeing, well, you don't really track attribution, which is wild. Are you hearing from your customers and clients that they're seeing like they're finding you on YouTube, or like are you getting that verbal feedback of like, oh,
Every
I
day.
okay. Yeah.
Every
Excellent.
single day. People come to me and they're like, I can't get rid of you. And I even have an ad right now that's running and it's just like a haha kind of ad. It's like I was like thumbs up if you see me more times a day than you see your own family. And then the headline is like learn to retarget like this and it goes to my $7 program. That's one of my most successful ads right now because it's one of the best ways to sell people is inception, right?
Mhm.
They're seeing me everywhere. They see that ad, they're like, fuck, okay, Laurel's got me. Boom. And people always tell me I bought because like that ad just cracked me up and I was like, and so people
Oh,
tell me all the time.
no doubt. I mean, you should definitely include humor in your ads. I had one ad that just absolutely crushed. I had a team member create it. It was a meme style ad for my Power Offer workshop, and it was a short video of, I don't know if he was, Arab or what, but he was Middle Eastern, and he's beating on a drum, and there's a cat like bouncing his head to the beat, and then there was some text overlay of like, here's what happens when you install a power offer campaign into your business, and it's just the cat like going back and forth with the music. Dude, that blew up. That absolutely blew up, and I had so many people DM me and message me saying like, dude, that's hilarious, and it's like brand awareness for anything. You should do humor ads, like hands
Well,
down.
have you seen my ad yet? It's at the top of my profile, my Kiss My Roaz rap video.
No, no.
Yeah, so Christine Morel and I have been kind of jamming on like some funny stuff, and she's like, she showed me how to use Google Flow. She's like, you're such a great songwriter. She's like, you need to do like something because she's like, there's all these AI tools that can help you do that. And so like everyone wants to know, and that's the funny thing is like I put out the rap video. Yeah, if you want to see it, it's cool. The song is catchy, just so you know. But it and everyone was like, what AI tool did you use do that? Because I was like, but everyone's asking like because they want to do it. I was like, but first of all, I'm a songwriter and I've published over 300 songs. Two, I'm an award-winning television producer who knows how to edit. So it wasn't all AI. I used AI to produce the song that I had already written, and then I used Flow to do the video part of it. But I had to literally hand stitch because they won't. You can't sync your, at least not that I know of. You can't sync my voice or whatever with the AI video. Like you still have to hand. So I had to literally look at the camera and do kiss my row, like do and then go and edit it in. But it came out so good. And I've been running that and people are just like going crazy for it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Laurel, um, I always love jamming with you. There's always such great nuggets and insights that I get from you. So, uh, Lean on Laurel is where they can go find you. Where else can they go?
I would always recommend, like, if no one has ever watched any of my content, two things. They can get my book, Super Duper Profitable Ads. It's on Amazon. I should have a copy somewhere. It's called Super Duper Profitable Ads. That'll be the strategy that you and I talked about, like video view, retarget to the conveyor belt, or my $7 program, which I literally have been re-recording everything. So if they're going from complete beginner, they can go into the $7 program. I created GPTs for all the scripts, GPTs for every module, white papers so that they shorter videos, white papers and everything. So there's a rapid launch section. So if someone joins today, they could literally get their first ads up and running today utilizing my AI tools. And then they can go and learn while their ads are actually already running.
Sweet. We'll include links. And
Yeah.
make sure you go check out Laurel, follow her so she can stalk you on every platform that you are on. But Laurel, I appreciate it, man. This was really, really fantastic. And I know that my audience, they always love you. I actually have a call with one of your Lean on Laurel students in 12 minutes. Lindsay Mustaine, I believe is her last name. And
Oh,
so,
sweet.
yeah, so we're building out her. So we have an automatic ads platform that scales ads. It's inspired. I think you've seen it in the past. We have
Mm-hmm.
actually totally rebuilt it, and we used to be focused on all content creators and whatnot. We've isolated that and just gone super niche on advertisers to help them scale their ads automatically. And so she hired us, and we're building out the system for her so she can scale her ads and basically
That's
implement the
awesome.
exact same system that we're talking about here. But anyway, so I say that because we do share a lot of similar people in our audience, so I know that they are going to love this content. So,
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to harass you about doing more video content.
well, we should work together on that because I do need to do it. I'm also launching. I've had a YouTube channel launched for a long time, but I'm trying to do more long form education style videos for that channel, and it's going very well. I mean, like I only have like 1,900 subscribers, but like the
So you
last
already have the
video.
video, you already have the videos?
Yeah, I started posting, so I'm doing more marketing content on that channel. And
You should just give me all of those videos. I still have access to your ad account. You should just let me set something up for you.
deal, deal. So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and end this, and make sure that you go follow Laurel. And thanks for tuning in.